has been a very long time since I've been live, so hopefully we get some of you tuning in to say hello. I'm just jumping on my other computer so I can definitely see any conversation or any comments. It's showing nothing at the moment. There we go. Alrighty, so if anyone that's watching can just tell me that you can hear me fine. I actually remember to put on the speaker thingy, but I've never tried it on my new computer, so I don't know if it's all working properly. But yeah, a good comment. Oh, okay, cool. I can see it on there anyway, so I don't need to look over there. Hi, Lucy. Hi, Christine. So yeah, it's been, I don't know, so long since I jumped on live, and with everything going on and we're getting closer to launch date, I really don't have a firm date yet. I just want to get over the next couple of days with finishing off the final notes and macros and everything like that for the main meals, which I've been working through 21 of them starting today, before I give a launch date, because there's still a lot of information to go into this book. So yeah, I'm pretty excited because it's been a huge undertaking, and it's a little steer away from the way I usually do our books and plans and that as well too, because we've added so much more into this book. So it's good to see a lot of you on here. I'm going to get straight into it because there's a little bit of information. I don't want to be on here a long time because I know a lot of people can just watch it back anyway if they join us later. So for anyone that is joining later, you will just get all the info that I've got on hand at the moment. I'll be letting out little sneaky peeks along the way, and doing a few more lives and that, just to give you more information without overloading everyone in one go. So did we hear that? Yes, the sound is good. I'm guessing that thumbs up from you, Joanne, means that you can actually hear me pretty well. Okay, so I'm just going to get out my list because I quickly wrote down a couple of notes we all know I can go on. So the new ebook coming out this month sometime is called Fed Up Fast 4, or the Fast 4, or FU Diet, the FU Fast. The FU came from fed up with dieting, fed up with food, fed up with all of the problems associated, that why we want to go onto a plan like this. And of course it was an FU to all diets and that as well too. So that's where that name came from. It was just a funny mix on and play on some words and letters that of course I love. When you think about Mad Creations, Mad C, all the things we've had over the years, we do have a few things that have a few different meanings, and it's just a little bit of fun. That's what we do. So yeah, it is an extension of the EF3 of our current 4 ebooks that we've been marketing over many years now. The last 2, Egg Fast 3 and Meg Fast 3.1, since last year, that have helped thousands of people lose a lot of weight, me included. For those of you who don't know me, I have been putting in my accountability, but over the last 12 months I've lost over 20 kilos myself, which has been catalogued and shown on the page throughout that time, so you could actually see that this is just a real plan that works, and the person who created it even follows it every single week, 4 days a week, and absolutely bloody loves it too, by the way. So that's the best part about it, is that I haven't got bored with the food. You've got to imagine somebody whose entire life has been all about recipe development, creating recipes. I cooked professionally for many years, and I also did this even before I was, even when I was in school. So it's a lifelong love with creative development, but I've been absolutely loving the plans, and I wanted to extend that further with the special asks that we get in our community and that as well, creating more range for everybody who's been on it for this last 12 months, and also just create more recipes that work within the different seasons, as well as something new that we're also adding to this plan. So I'll get started straight into it. The book will be probably around about, it's an ebook and it won't be available in print copy, but you'll be able to print it yourself for your own personal use. But it will be around about 200 pages. So it is our biggest book ever. has a lot of information in it because we've had a lot of people that want to have that extension, but there will be quick start guides, so you don't have to read all the extra information, but it's there for you to refer to before, after, or during, and you might learn a thing or two. Plus there'll also be personal pages in there that are directly from me or from information from our testers and feedback from our community over the last 12 months of what we've learned from the plans, and ways to break it all down and make it easier for ourselves, because we all know that, you know, sticking with a plan or losing weight, and that can be difficult, especially difficult for some, and we want to make it as easy as possible. I have said this for a long time, you know, I want this to be the easy answer. The easy answer is eating great food that you actually enjoy, that is simple and quick to prepare, and, you know, there's no special drugs or anything like that that you need to take, and it, you know, you'll feel good about it as well too. Plus you get that time to have off on the weekend, and you get to have one day each week where you can actually, you know, go hell for leather if you want, but, you know, have a high carb day and have a break and have a sanity break and feel like you are living your life the way it should be lived. But anyway, okay, so in this book we will have different chapters and stuff like that. So we'll have the philosophy with practical, sustainable and real life experiences in it. We're introducing something very new to this, and I think a lot of people will appreciate it, in how to utilize the plans and the recipes, and it'll be weight loss phases. So there'll be information on what each weight loss phase is and where you can actually put yourself. So there'll be like a kickstart, a gradual transition to normal eating, and then, you know, which is more of a foodie phase, more of everything. So it's a phase that's good for people who want more meals and longer eating windows and stuff like that, who can't do it harder. So you could, you know, go back and forward between the kickstart and the gradual transition, and then there's a maintenance and long term with more foods in that as well. So that is all new that's in this book, and I think will help a lot of people identify where they are and realize what goals they're going to get if they're eating a specific way, with what other foods they're adding in those 4 days that they're on the plan. It has who is it for, so it has supportance and guidance, customization and flexibility, carb cycling, part-time plans. So for those of you who don't know, the EF3 is part-time plan. You do 4 days on, 3 days off. 1 day is a high carb day, 2 days are low carb, and the other 4 days you only eat what's on the plan. And you use that with intermittent fasting, so it is a very low carb, high protein diet that is very, very simple to follow, and all of the meals are really good. They're really tasty, and so it makes it a lot easier. We have practical strategies in this new book to following the plans and how to overcome food dependencies and inner demons. It has all about the carb cycling, which is what this plan is all about, and fat burning. The reasons behind intermittent fasting, or why it's good. I love it when people say, I don't fast. You fast when you sleep. Everybody fasts at some point. But we'll also have how to learn how to fast better or longer, how to overcome fears or your own roadblocks that you put in place to stop yourself from fasting. Everything comes with practice, right? And if we want to make a change, we have to be prepared to make a change regardless of what those changes are, okay? You can't just say, I can't, I won't. That's actually in the book as well. You actually have to say, I will try, I can work past this. You know, for in certain circumstances, we all get told we can't eat for 48 hours if we've got to have a medical test or something like that. You survive that, right? You can do it again. You can learn how to use the plan to maximum benefits, but knowing through these phases now introduced what you should expect from, you know, the path that you choose yourself, because we don't have a one size fits all, because one size doesn't fit all, right? We also have about the mindset, which is funnily enough the next one, but I can't, I won't, I choose not to. Discovering your attitude and actually how to break that down and change it. When I started low carb keto, it's like when some people say, oh, you know, I want this or I want that. When I started this diet, I didn't think I could do it because I loved bread. I basically ate anything with bread back in the day. I baked my own tortillas and mass of flour tortillas and bagels and things like that every week. And I honestly didn't think that would be an easy thing to do. And honestly, you can see now I've got a lot of bread recipes. But I realistically went without bread for years, all kinds, even keto bread or low carb bread, and learned how to go without it. And now I actually prefer not to have it at all. Like, even though I don't have normal bread, I prefer not to even have keto breads most of the time. Funnily enough, I've had one today, which I absolutely loved, which is our famous bacon bread, the pizza base from Egg Fast 3. I think it's like one of the best breads, honestly. It's just got the best texture. But yeah, it's learning new habits. So we're addressing that. We've got all about satiety versus overeating. So if what's feeling full and what's overeating. And I see from a lot of our community, and that, or not from a lot of our community, but from some of our community members, they have a problem with overindulging or overeating, eating just for eating's sake, eating because it's mealtime, thinking that they're hungry. So there is a lot of that in this book, and that as well too. We have the role of exercise, and you will be surprised it's not about losing weight or anything like that. It is mainly for mental health and getting out and actually having a break and getting out in the sunshine and stuff like that. That's all it is. Like, for me, I walk 3 kilometers a day. People ask me all the time if I work out. I don't work out, okay? So if you've seen that I might look fit or whatever, I'm not fit. I am soft, and but I do walk 3 kilometers a few days a week. That's it. And I've done that for years. I did that big and I've done that small. So it's not that it did anything to make me lose weight. But I have included the role of exercise and how just getting outside and actually those sort of little things that you can do can actually help you, and that more than losing weight. Okay, it's not about that at all. It's actually this part. We have motivation, reassurance, and guidance, more about the phases. So once I introduce that to you, I'll actually have different areas where you can actually read more informative, and you can pick one. Plus you'll get a personal message from my experience of those plants and that eating style, and that as well too, of what you should expect, and why you might choose those particular phases, and that as well too. A big one, a lot of our community, of course, use our electrolytes recipe from Keto Mojo. It will be always exclusive to that. It's not coming into this book at all as well. But I have about the role of electrolytes, what they do and how they will help you in multiple ways. And this is like, everything from, how you might feel more alert, how you might feel more energetic, and how it actually might help with regularity and things like that. So that's important. And a lot of people do ask me often, why do I take them? Why should I have them? I don't need them. I just have salt, or things like that. It's more about that electrical reaction from having those different aminos in your diet. So we also have how to start, about diarising, metabolic adaptation, what to eat on your days off, and what I eat on my days off, because I get it asked probably every week. But I'll give you a guide on what you should be eating on the days off and what I eat. So it's either or. You can go, like I said, you can go a little bit naughty, and you can go a little bit nice, but still enjoy your life to your tastes. Then we have the evolution of the egg, meg, and fed up fast. So as you might know, we started with the egg fast. We've gone a long way from that. This book even has a lot of recipes without eggs in it, ones that you can take eggs out of. It is a protein diet, so but eggs are so versatile and so useful in so many recipes, and they cross over from desserts to snacks to main meals, and foundations of low carb recipes that I personally love. So they are inclusive in this plan. We have the quick start guide again on how that you can just basically, it has a front index where you can actually just go, I want to get the quick start guide, read a page or two, and pick a plan, print it off, go shopping, make the stuff, and get started. It is that simple. Like, honestly, you do not have to read this entire book. You don't have to read anything really to get started other than the meal plan, and just follow it. Like, if you can just follow something like that, then that's all you need to do. And pretty much that's what I'm like. We just bought a new vacuum. I'm the kind of person that pulls a vacuum out of a box, doesn't read the instructions, plugs it in, uses it, right? I'm sure there's a lot of you that are like that. That's exactly what you can do with these plans too. Take it out of the box, buy it, open it up, go to first meal plan, go to plan 1, start on plan 1, don't even look at the rest of them, buy what you need to buy, or take an assessment of what's in your pantry and your fridge and get going. It is that simple, okay? And if you make the decision that you want to buy the book and get serious, then that's what you do. You don't look for the excuses. You just get in there, pick something, and start. And has a how to use. I don't need to turn that page over. So how to use the plans and that as well. We have loads of meal plans and the meal prep pages. If you've got the previous books, you'll actually know that there's like 5 meal plans in the front, and they have the meal prep with quick jump to links and that to those recipes and that as well too, that show you anything that you can make ahead of time. You don't need to make them ahead of time, but it gives you that option. So if you've got, say, a Sunday afternoon where you've got a couple of hours to spare, you might choose every Sunday to prep for your week ahead, so you're already ready and you don't have to do much at all other than anything that might be, let's just say, a steak. Cook your steak when you need it, but you might already have your subs ready to go. We'll also have some bonus plans that are inclusive from the testers of what ones that they personally would follow. When we're talking about our recipe development team, these are members of our team who have actually been following the plans, some religiously like myself, week in, week out, 4 days on, 4 days off for the last 52 weeks, and some of them longer because they were testing it while I was still writing it. And now they're looking at what their favourite recipes are and putting them into plans. So I've got some of those plans in that as well too, which we'll go into it. We have our cooking guides. We have the essentials, links to products, ingredients and substitutes, etc. I put them in there. We are affiliates with some of these companies. It's not about us making money, but a lot of you always ask, what do I use? What brand do I use? What pan do I use? Those sort of things. I'm including those links. It makes it easy and convenient for you. If you don't want them, you don't need to use them, but they're there, okay? And there is the glossary in the back that has about the ingredients, any substitutes that I haven't added in the notes, where to find them and why they're in the recipes and that as well too. I've also included resources like lists that you can print off and use week in, week out yourself as well for shopping, meal prep and freezer meals. So let's just say if you're going to make one of the recipes in bulk and you want to freeze it, you can add that to your freezer list to say that you've got 2 serves of XYZ, and then keep that on the fridge, and then you'll know. So then you can actually like build up a bank of freezer meals and actually have like a whole month off meal prep if you want to. You could prep, all the plans at once, what you can meal prep, freeze whatever you can freeze, and then make fresh as you need things. And that might be something as simple as a salsa or a green salad, or cooking a steak or a piece of salmon or something like that. We've also included carb lists and protein lists. So we have some vegetable lists, protein lists, dairy lists, condiments lists of some foods that you can use. I cannot obviously write down every single protein source, dairy source, vegetable source, etc. I've picked some. They can see the vegetables. I think I picked under 3 grams of carbs, ones that I would recommend to use in the plans, ones that I do not recommend. Same with protein. I'm not going to go through every animal that is eaten across the world. Use your common sense. You can actually look at these sort of things, but there is quite a significant list of all of these and that as well. Same with condiments. Again, it's like looking at the nutritional label. You can make those calls, but the more you add to the recipes, remember that you are potentially altering what is going to happen with them. That is also in the phases. We have our FAQs, and then that is pretty much the book itself, but then all inside in the middle of it is 60 plus recipes. So I'm just going to grab my list. Now, if anyone's got any questions, if there's anything that you want in this book that I just didn't mention, or that you feel is missing from the others, you can either email me personally, you can add it in this thread. I am still writing the guts behind all of everything other than just these notes. I have to just finish off a few chapters and that are in there, small, but a bit of stuff in there. And this is your chance. If you need something that needs to be in there, or you feel that something is grossly missing, then let me know and I will consider it, or look at what information we've already got in the other plans or what is in this one, because it won't be where I don't want recipe suggestions either, by the way. I've already got all the recipes done. That takes a lot of time. That's testing and photographing and cooking and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, you've got to think of what the results will be. So your suggestion will be definitely looked at, heard, listened, and potentially put in if it's a great idea, because we have taken a lot of information from what's been said over the community over the last 12 months, because it's been 12 months since we launched Eggfast 3.0, and the emails and that I've got over the time. But yeah, I'm still listening, always listening, because that's how we get to be what I would say we're as good as we are in this niche of the low carb area, the niche of low carb, is because we listen to you and we try and put in the recipes that you want to see and the plans that you want to see. And also, being somebody who has struggled with their weight, I put in a lot of me as well, knowing what it's like to be a woman who's in her 50s, who's postmenopausal, etc. All the etceteras, etceteras, etceteras. And wanted in a plan. And for me, it is just that versatility, the convenience of easy meals, no faffing about and stuff like that. And when Dave said something yesterday about cooking something, I'm like, no, that takes hours. I'm not doing that. Like, not to do with this plan, but I couldn't be bothered in the kitchen. If that's my attitude, then that's good for you guys, because that means you're not going to be spending hours cooking one meal. Okay. So the index, it looks big, right? I wonder how many people are going to pause that section of this video. Okay, so I have put a lot into it, and it is a lot of meal recipes. So we've got soups and salads, we've got drinks, we've got light meals, bakery, we've got main meals, something sweet, and we've got let's get saucy. So I'm just going to quickly read through so that you hear it first from me, what's in it. And the second recipe I'm going to tell you is going to be, I think, the most popular recipe in this book, possibly my most popular recipe because it's so freaking good. Okay, so we've done a chicken popper soup. We've got a naked wonton soup, and that is one of the new recipes that I think is going to just blow everyone away. It is like literally very, very quick to make, and the flavor that we have managed to get into this soup is just amazing. Salad people, we heard you, but it's in a phase, okay? So just remember to read all about the phases if you're going to go salads. Greek tuna salad, Italian deli salad, a Mediterranean salmon salad, and a curry chicken and prawn salad. So we've done a nice bit of a mix there. They are protein filled and very tasty too, by the way. Drinks, we have a fed up fiber shake. So for the people who need to be more regular or get a little bit constipated, we've got a fiber shake. We've got the Jamu Vita water, so a little bit of nice flavour and fresh, something to add to a little bit of soda water every day and enjoy it. We've got a protein power smoothie, which is really light and fluffy and amazing. I actually did have pictures on the page today of one of the smoothies, and it's, of course, as you know, with our shakes, we allow you to flavour them various ways to make them beautiful. The smoothie blew me away. I thought it was really lovely. It actually tasted like I was drinking, in this case, a banana smoothie. It was flavoured with banana buzzing, but it was like amazing. We have a Get On Up James Brown. This thing is killer. It's like a get up and go, but this one's even better. One of our testers, the first time she tried it, and then when I tried it, I'm like, you are 100% right. It is kind of like Bailey's, but without the alcohol. But there you go. You can actually use it on the weekend if you wanted to and add a little bit. But it is something, and it can be served in multiple ways as well. And that's what we're putting into these as well. So they're not just the recipes you're seeing. There is multiple ways to serve them as well, and they are on every single recipe that I write down the bottom, alternate ways to serve. We have light meals, Chinese pork dumplings, the works breakfast muffins, a Thai herb salad, salsa, Indian grilled cheese and bacon, one mug lasagna. We have a Sizzler cheese toast. Remember Sizzler's cheesy toast? Well, we have a cheesy toast that is EF3, FU4 compliant. That is amazing, and I freaking loved it. So it's getting made again for me this week when I've done all the recipes, but amazing. We'll be creating more vegetarian recipes options anytime soon. These have lots of vegetarian recipes in them, and I will be creating a list of all the dietary tick boxes of all the recipes so you can make your own decisions on whether you want to go ahead and buy this book. We have a Topinka garlic bread, which is the Czech Republic style garlic bread. We have the FU bread, salty and sesame subs, better than bakery cheese and bacon rolls. So you haven't even seen those ones yet. We have an Italian Parmigiano sub. We have the crimpy bread. Now that's the bread I put on the page yesterday. Fluffy, white bread, no cheese. Okay, so no cheese in it whatsoever. That will keep you all thinking. But it's an amazing bread. And no, it doesn't taste like styrofoam. You can actually see it's nothing like other protein breads. It doesn't even have egg white protein in it. So it's not one of those either. We have a dairy-free protein flatbread. We have avocado crisp breads. So we actually have like, for those of you who like raw eaters and stuff like that, We have a crisp bread that's in there that you can actually top, and one of the recipes is a guacca and egg crisp bread. I even put in the pictures, I don't think you've seen them yet, one with cheese and dill pickle and tomato like I used to have when I was a kid. No oats. No, there's no oats in this book. I don't know what that question would be for. The book is completely 100% gluten-free and very low carb. There is no flour, no nuts, no oats, nothing like that. Oh, sorry, is the oats about the bread? No, there's no oats in the bread either. And the ingredients can be bought locally. So, yeah, very, very easy. My meals, okay, get ready for it. We have a loaded choripan. So an Argentine style sandwich. We have bistro steak and onion sub, Aussie beef burgers, ranch chicken icebergs, Argentinian steak, Italian savoury mince, ginger garlic pork chops, Swiss ham frittata, an ultimate pepper steak, chicken Milanese, tonkatsu, sweet and sour chicken meatballs, Tuscan chicken pot pie, and Thai chicken mince stir fry. So that's a lot of main meals, right? They're all pretty good. I think there's going to be a few big favourites there. I'm still going to say the naked wonton soup's going to be number one. But, you know, I know that there's been a lot of the feedback from the testers and their families regarding these recipes have been pretty good. Something sweet. Okay, for all our sweeties, I know you all have loved your custards. We have more, not dairy, but, you know, more creamy sort of style desserts like that, because it is very easy to create this sort of style without using flours. Of course, you've got to remember this is quite restricted in the way we're not using nut flours or coconut flour or any of those sort of things in this book. So I'm not baking a cake because it's kind of, I'd say it's almost impossible to make a real cake. I can make a dry cake, but we got close. Okay, so we've got a mocha Bavarian cream. We've got yogurt custard and frozen yogurt. Amazing. Platinum blondie. So we've got a blondie. We've got creamy jello cups. And there is two options there for those of you who like to use just your low sugar jello or aeroplane jelly. And there's also ones where you don't use that, you use the gelatin and make your own. We have a dairy-free pudding. We have an ice magic shell, and we have gooey chocolate brownies, or I'm calling them brownies, protein brownies. And then in the sauces, we have a lime mustard dressing, a tomato Italian ranch, a herby lemon dressing, lime and sesame dressing, roasted red pepper sauce, roasted red pepper hollandaise, pickle ranch, a buffalo ranch, a chipotle and lime ranch, a peppercorn sauce, a chimichurri, a 4-ingredient curry sauce, which is amazing. We have a tonkatsu sauce, and we have a Hong Kong style sweet and sour sauce. That can of course be used on a lot of protein, so anyone that likes sweet and sour is going to love me for that sauce, and it is awesome. It was already amazing and the testers loved it, and then I tweaked it just a little bit more when I wanted to remake it for something else. I think it was for a photo shoot. I can't remember now. And I had already suggested to them something else that they could add to it, and then I tasted it. I'm like, oh, I'm going to chuck that in as well, and it got even better. So I'll add that in the notes that you can have that with or without if you don't like that particular thing that I added in, which is probably something that's in everybody's fridge anyway. But amazing. So I hope that sounds really good to you, because it has blown right out. I wanted this book launched last month. There's no chance. Like I said, at this stage, I'm still, I think I've got 11 recipes just to finish the notes. You've got to understand, like, when I put in all those notes, and that, please read through and have a look at what I've written. The notes and the recipes alone have taken me 2 weeks to write. So that's the thing with a lot of these books, is what you're seeing is like, okay, I don't just create a recipe and give you one method. I create the recipe, give you 2 methods. I create the recipe and try and put the links in there. I create the recipe and I try and do all the substitutes and macros and serving sizes, and then with and without buns and all that sort of stuff. So there is a lot of work put in, all behind the scenes, just for the one recipe, and then you multiply that by 62, I think there is in there. And then all that extra information, the meal plans and all that sort of stuff in there. So there is a lot of work gone into this book, and I am really hoping that it has a lot of wow factor and we see a lot of results. To say that we were blown away with how EF3 has gone over this past year, personally losing over 20 kilos myself. Sorry, I just bashed that microphone, so everyone probably heard a big bang. So I know from personal experience how it's worked and how it actually surprised the crapper out of me, without swearing, that I got these results. But the biggest thing has been how it's transferred. You know, one of our testers has lost over 20 kilos in that as well too. I think actually two or three actually now have lost over 20 kilos themselves in that as well. But we've literally had thousands in our community using the plans and losing a lot of weight, and that's showing in the reviews, and I just couldn't be prouder that they work. And I think the difference is that this is a plan and meals and recipes coming from somebody who not only loves food but also has the problem with carbs, with, you know, insulin resistance and stuff like that. I don't come from a PT background, and I'm not writing it and telling you to have to work out for 2 hours every day and follow this plan. You know, it's not strict with being strict. None of those meals sound like you're getting on a strict diet, right? Like you're feeling pretty good. Like, look, you know, you can see that here's Kerry saying she's lost 15 kilos herself, you know, and I know as somebody else who's, you know, the same age as me. So, you know, it's even like I can't because like I've gone through menopause or whatever, you know. Well, there's a lot of us that have gone through menopause and we've lost the weight. So I really think that that's the difference, is that this is addressing issues and problems that a lot of us feel, men and women, who love food, who love eating, who feel they can't go without, who put on weight even if maybe they walk past a bakery. But they can eat this plan, have a day off, have a couple of low carb days and still lose weight. And I really think that that is what has made this so successful, because people are losing, people are making changes. And for me, you know, I lost, you know, this is just, I think it's 1 year and 1 week since I started, but I lost 5 kilos, I think in that first week a bit. And I did a little video of me in my shorts, and I was like the other day, oh, I've got to do that again, show you a year on. But it's like, it's just so funny that you look back and see how far you've come when you've done this and how far others have come. But yeah, it has just blown me away that I'm not the only person that's had these results. And I think that that's been a testament and part of success of the whole EF3 FU diet, is that people have been sharing their experiences and their losses and their support of others and that as well, and giving them their tips and their variations on the recipes and that as well too. We've created recipes that are versatile. You know, it's not like it's pasta where you can only make, if you're making real pasta, you're making it with eggs and flour, whether it's a gluten-free flour or a wheat-based flour, you still got to make it with, you know, those, or I know there's vegan options, Megan, but anyway, we're just trying to use it as an example. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're creating recipes that are like pasta in the opposite way, that you can add so much more to it to change it, to change the way it's served, and all that sort of thing. So that is one part that's the beauty. I guess it's better to say we're not making chicken schnitzel, because, you know, chicken schnitzel can only be served, you know, probably a couple of thousand ways, where pasta can be served millions. Anyway, I'm going to love yous and leaves. I'll actually have a quick look at the questions and just see if there's anything I can answer now. But otherwise, if you've got anything, and like I said, and if it's something that's personal, you can email me. So my email is megan@madcreationshub.com. We have a contact us on our website, which is madcreationshub.com. So you can go there and click on it, and you send me an email anyway. But if you have anything that you have a question about or want to share, send it through. I won't reply to everybody, but I might reply to you. In saying that, because I could just say that because I literally do get hundreds of emails every day. Anyway, you could increase the volume, your end, please. Sorry, Anne, you just have to turn it up on your end. I can't turn it up any different I've got actually a microphone on me right now. But yeah, it'll be for volumes for any listeners. You can actually turn up both Facebook volume and your device volume. So you've got, if you're on a phone or an iPad, you've got your volume on the side, and you've got your volume on Facebook too. So if you click on the live, you'll actually have a volume. You can turn that up, and you can also turn up the sides. And that will make me louder than loud. It's not me. Volume needs to go up, as I am on full volume and hardly can hear you. Okay, Christine, have you tried doing both of those things? I can hear it clearly on my iPad. So there we go. Okay. I have subtitles, speaking points on my screen, and I love subtitles. I actually watch every TV show with subtitles. I can hear you fine on iPhone. So a lot of people actually saying, I think it's just that some of them haven't done the 2 volumes. That's what it'll be. I'm literally like this close to my computer. It's a brand new one with great sound, so it should be fine even without the mic, which I can see is still working. So that's actually one I can project my voice across a room. Have swapped to my phone, all good now here. It'll just be the device settings, Christine. So next time just look on both the device and Facebook. I have jumped in late. I really do need some gluten, dairy and egg-free recipes. I've been on the fence for so long. Hi Beck. Yeah, there is no gluten in any of the recipes at all. Loads and loads of dairy-free and dairy-free options. Egg-free, I have to do the count. There is egg-free recipes, but there will be recipes with eggs in them, so it might annoy you, but if you can see a list with what's egg-free and what's not, then you can make that decision. But yeah, I'm not, because it's protein-based, I'm not going to substitute it for chia seeds and chia eggs and stuff like that, because that means I actually have to test every single recipe with an egg alternative. And as I often write, we write variations, but I don't write for intolerant, like I don't write specifically for somebody's type of diet. Sorry, I might need a drink. Will you be creating more vegetarian? Yes, I actually addressed that one. So there is vegetarian alternatives in the book. Even in the main protein ones, you know, it's simple to swap for, say, a firm tofu, or we've added extra foods without letting cats out of the bag, that you can actually use other things in there. Just seeing. Are the recipes EF compliant? Yes, they are. This is an extension of it, and it will be a book that you can use with your existing meal plans and vice versa. And I think I've answered all the questions that I can see on there. I think there's more, but it only shows me so many. Anyway, if there is other questions that are on the thread, I will try and address them. But as I said, you can email me with any questions. The launch date, I'm not quite sure, but like give me till the end of the week and I will give everybody a launch date and more details. We'll have the index up live tomorrow for everyone to have a look at. If there's any changes, it'll only be an extra 1 or 2 recipes. I'm pretty bad like that all of a sudden I'm like, oh, that's a brainwave. He's nearly got like a hot cross bun. I'm like, oh, we could do sweetbreads, but I might just put that on the website. Because yeah, I've done a couple of really good bread recipes for this, oddly enough, when I was talking about bread. Okay, thanks for joining me if you stayed on for the whole time. If you're watching this back and you've got any questions or anything like that, remember you can email me. You've got my email address, or you can go to the contact us on the website. I hope everyone's excited. Please give it lots of love when you see a picture or any of the things that I'm sharing each day. I like to see that people are enjoying what they're seeing. And when I put up the index tomorrow, I'd love to hear what the recipes are that you would like to start making straight away. I will also be including some lists before the book launches of pans and things like that that I might use that I bought. They're only cheap ones. So you can actually look at the sizes of your pans and things like that. Say, for instance, the brownie, that you can actually look at your pans and see that you've actually got what you need to get started if you want to make the brownie first thing, or where I bought them from. And most of the stuff's just on Amazon, and like I said, nothing expensive. Okay, so thanks for tuning in, and I shall be back on again in a couple of days with an update. Okay.